Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Valentine Lister, and today we are going to cover the Five of Wands. And if you're watching this as the videos come out, I'm doing this in the season of summer because summer is the season that the wands rule, especially the Ace and the Page of Wands. If you caught the Ace, you know that. And I will be getting to the Page of Wands as well. In any case, in this video, we are going to go into everything you need to know about the Five of Wands, including the symbolism, the astrological correspondences, which are actually really important for the minor arcana. It's like a secret that I think most people don't know, that there are major arcana cards that rule the minor arcana cards, and they're actually associated with symbols of the zodiac and, or, you know, zodiac signs and the gods and goddesses of astrology, which I'm super excited to share with you, and I've been sharing in these videos. I'm going to go over a little bit of the numerology as well as the upright meaning and the reversed meaning. And just a quick reminder about the minor arcana, in that the minor arcana tells us about like the everyday like things that happen to us, versus the major arcana, which talks about the big events, the big changes. And in the major arcana is where we have these symbols of all the gods and goddesses and the zodiac signs and the elements. And the minor arcana talks about like the day-to-day stuff where those gods and goddesses and zodiac signs actually show up in our like everyday life. All right, so I want to get into the cards. I'm going to turn the camera over to that right now. All right, guys, we have the Five of Wands here. And just to give you a little feel for this card, I made up a nickname for it, and it's called Haters Be Hatin'. So there's a lot of friction energy, a lot of hostility, pretty easy to see with these guys like beating their sticks together and whatnot. Okay, so again, remember I was talking about that there's major arcana cards that rule the minor arcana cards. So I'm gonna bring those in right now. So ruling this card, we have, oh crap. So ruling this card, we have the World card, which actually represents the god Saturn. And if you guys know about your Saturn returns and how nasty Saturn can be, there you go. But he also has some good traits too, so don't worry. And then we have Saturn wearing the zodiac costume of Leo, right? So zodiac signs are actually costumes that cover the gods and goddesses. So in ancient astrology, traditional astrology, I'm studying Hellenistic astrology, but I believe this is true for sidereal astrology as well. The focus was on the 7 traditional planets and the gods and goddesses that ruled them. And then it was thought that these gods and goddesses wore these costumes, like had different identities to guide us, to teach us lessons. You know, they're not just causing chaos. I think there's a purpose for it. But anyway, so what you'll notice, what I think is exciting, and the reason I wanted to share this with you guys, is you'll notice if you look at the cards on the sides that rule the Five of Wands, you're going to see symbolism in these cards that helps you really understand this card. And remember, the card that we're focused on today is the Five of Wands, even though I am going to talk about the World card and Strength, you know, because they're associated with the Five of Wands. So initially, like when I look at these cards together, I noticed that both in the World card and in the Five of Wands, you notice that there's 4 figures enclosing one another. Like, you know, there's 4 figures here enclosing what this might be Saturn in the middle, right? Or I think it was Prudence or whatever, right? But they're enclosing the figure in the middle. I'm just going to call this woman, man. This was like an androgynous figure if you saw the World card video. But I'm going to call this person Saturn here, just for the purposes of understanding this card. But we notice we have 4 figures again around here, you know, covering this middle card. And if you look, right, so in the World's card, we had these 2 figures on the top. That was Aquarius, and that was Scorpio, but it also represented Jupiter, the god Jupiter as well. Well, the 2 figures in the back on the Five of Wands are also looking at each other kind of in the same way. And like one reason I think this too is because we have like the elements represented. So a lot of times air, and Aquarius is an air sign. That's Aquarius, is represented by yellow. And then water signs, if this is Scorpio, is represented by blue. And then down here we have Taurus. I think this is Taurus because it's green. So like Taurus, the bull here, kind of looks similar because green often represents earth. And what I think is going on, this is the little story that I made, is that Saturn stole Leo's costume. So I think Saturn in the middle here, right? Because Leo is red. That I think this person, Saturn, stole the lion's costume. So I think this was the original lion, and then Saturn was like, I'm taking your outfit, what you gonna do about it? And so now they're having a brawl, they're having like a bar fight or something. Saturn was considered an earth god, and he was also considered malefic, somebody who has a destructive energy and a destructive force, like a destructive force in life. So already we see that there. And then we'll look over to the strength card, and obviously like the strength card also represents Leo. Like we have the lion here and the lion here, so they're connected in that way, you know. So I want to bring in also how these things are together. So I made this little story here, but there's also, we're bringing in the Leo card as well. You know, so Saturn is an earth god, and we have to think about like the fact that fighting is a part of reality on earth. And the world card also represents peace and harmony with life as it is. Now, the strength card, right? Saturn wearing the strength card, it means fortitude and represents bravery in the face of adversity, as does the zodiac sign of Leo, which this card, strength, is associated with. So it brings to mind, like when we put these two archetypes together, in the Five of Wands, that the competition that comes with getting your ideas or creative projects across. So fighting to get to the top, seeing other people as competition for a man or a woman in a romantic sense. But you're not feeling secure. You're feeling like you have to fight to get what's yours. And so this is not great for Saturn, right? Because Saturn is actually in detriment in ancient astrology in Leo. Because, right, if we want like a earth god to structure things and to like have this wisdom of, even though it's a destructive force, being able to, like, that could mean setting boundaries or saying no to things, and that can be a really great thing. It's like just meaning a malefic or destructive force doesn't mean it's a bad thing in your life. It could be a good thing to say no. It could be a good thing to have discipline and to have boundaries. And we look at the circle, right? Boundaries with Saturn. So that could be a good thing. But when it's in Leo, which is all about like putting forth like your own agenda, your own creative ideas, your individuality, that can be a real detriment, because Saturn works best when Saturn is like helping other people, helping create a structure that works for everyone, that's fair and just. So like when Saturn is in Libra, for example, it focuses on harmony and fairness and justice, where it's exalted, versus in Leo, where it's like, I'm just going to get mine, and I'm going to make the rules whatever I want to fit me personally and my way or the highway. So you can see how that can be a real detriment and a really like malefic force and a difficult placement for Saturn, where it's like kind of doing bad things because it's out of selfish desires and maybe even narcissism, like at its worst. But in reflecting on this card, this energy could also be fun. So for example, like when my husband saw this card, he saw it as like kind of an old school mosh pit like he used to get into in the 90s. Or I thought of it like a Royal Rumble, like maybe WWF style. So he saw it as fun. I saw the fun in this card. So we could also see this card as a willingness to fight and be brave if needed as well. So there's always positive, even if you have a card in detriment. Having this placement, like having this card, fighting to get to the top, fighting to get what you want, has its place in life. And that's what I love about tarot. That's what I love about astrology, this ancient art that speaks to every experience in life is spiritual, even ugly things like fighting and competition. All right, so I'm going to get into the numerology of this card. It's the number 5. And the 5, perfect for this, it represents freedom, instability, and change. So it's a roller coaster ride, stress and instability, a challenging place if you hate change. And interestingly, Saturn, associated with the world card, actually likes security and likes staying within the bounds and the circle of like the Ouroboros of life. And Leo loves freedom to do what they want and be themselves. So again, we're like pointing with this number 5 to like this difficulty or tension with this card. We want to secure our freedom and what we want, but that's difficult because life on earth has restrictions and competing energies, and that really says it all about this card. But wait, there's more. Okay, we have the upright meaning. So the upright meaning, if you pull this card, it can mean competition related to career endeavors, school, dating, romance, or marriage. It could signify an actual competition in sports or an exam or test at school or for like a license or certification. It could also represent like a conflict or competition related to creative projects. Okay, so the reverse meaning, if you get this card reversed, the main thing is it means the energy is being blocked or avoided. You want to think the energy is there, but you're not letting it come through. You're like, no, or something's not letting it come through. It could be, factors outside yourself, people outside yourself, or circumstances. But if it comes out reversed, it could mean that you just don't want to get involved in the cutthroat reality of life. You feel really disheartened by the fact that you have to fight to get what you want or to get ahead. Feeling drained, angry, or cranky about upcoming exams, tests, or competition in school, sports, creative project, or certification. Or you could be upset about or you could be upset about someone competing or something competing for your attention with a lover or spouse. Or you could just feel like ripping someone's head off. Could be that kind of energy. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed this video on the 5 of Wands. If you want to make sure to catch the next videos in the series, just a reminder to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified when I release the next video, which is going to be the 6 of Wands. Also, if you haven't, caught up on the videos I've done, I'm going to link a major arcana playlist right down here, as well as a related video for the minor arcana that I think you'll like up here. All right, guys, take care. Bye. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified for whenever I release a new video every single week.